All right, let's kick off this deep dive all about liver health.
Sounds good to me.
We've got a YouTube video from Dr. Eric Berg to dig into.
Okay.
Everyone always wants to know about the best foods for their liver.
Yeah.
So we figured we'd check out what he has to say.
Right.
He's a chiropractor, so, it's always good to keep in mind where the advice is coming from.
For sure. For sure.
And of course, always talk to your own doctor.
Definitely.
Get their advice too. But
Yeah.
let's see what Dr. Berg has to say.
Yeah, let's jump in.
He starts off right away, talking about the liver.
Okay.
And he makes this analogy that I like.
Okay.
He says that the liver isn't like a storage unit for toxins.
Right.
It's more like a detoxification powerhouse.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to think about it?
I think that's a really good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not just passively holding on to those toxins,
Well,
it's actively working to break them down, neutralize them, and get them out of the body.
Oh.
And it's actually a really complex process.
Oh, really?
With two main phases.
Oh, interesting.
So first, the liver breaks those toxins down into smaller pieces.
Okay.
And then it modifies them so they can dissolve in water and be flushed out.
I see.
So it's like a sophisticated filtering system that's constantly working.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going all the time.
It is, yes.
It's cleaning stuff out.
It's amazing what our bodies can do.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, something that I found interesting.
Okay.
Dr. Berg talked about bile. And, bile's made from cholesterol.
Yes.
That was kind of a surprise to me.
It is fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because bile is so important, not just for breaking down those fats,
Right.
but also helping us absorb nutrients from them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K.
Yeah.
We need bile to properly absorb those.
Okay.
And here's another thing. Bile actually helps regulate hormones, too.
So, hold on. So, cholesterol, which, always gets such a bad rap,
Right.
is actually super important for liver function and hormone balance.
Exactly. It's essential for our overall health.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to remember.
It is.
Now, let's talk about what happens when the liver's not working optimally.
Right.
Because, we are bombarded with so many toxins every day.
You're telling me. I know.
Just thinking about it makes me tired.
It is a lot for the liver to handle.
Yeah.
You've got pesticides, medications, pollution, processed foods.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a constant onslaught.
It really is.
And when the liver gets overwhelmed,
Yeah.
it can lead to problems like fatty liver disease.
Oh, wow.
Which is where fat starts to build up in the liver.
Okay.
And in more serious cases, it can progress to something called cirrhosis,
Yeah.
which involves scarring of the liver.
Okay.
And that can really impair liver function.
So how do you know? How do you know if you might have a liver issue?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Berg describes some common symptoms, things like fatigue, increased belly fat, even skin problems.
Really?
Yeah. These can be signs that your liver is struggling.
Wow.
Of course, they could be related to other things too,
Right.
but it's something to keep in mind.
So it's really amazing how one organ can have such an impact on all these different systems in the body.
It really is.
Dr. Berg also mentioned these liver enzyme tests.
Oh, yeah.
What are those exactly?
So those are blood tests
Okay.
that measure the levels of certain enzymes that the liver produces.
Okay.
And when the liver is damaged,
Yeah.
it releases more of these enzymes into the bloodstream.
I see.
So these tests can help doctors figure out if there's a problem and
Right.
how serious it might be.
So it's a good way to catch things early.
Exactly.
All right, now let's get to the food part.
Okay, the good stuff.
Because Dr. Berg goes into what we should avoid.
Yeah.
And some of it, I gotta say, sounds delicious.
Oh, I know.
Like BBQ ribs, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But apparently they're really tough on the liver.
They can be.
So what makes these particular foods so problematic?
It really comes down to the ingredients
Right.
and how they impact the liver.
Right.
So those ribs, for example,
Yeah.
they have that combination of sugar and protein
Okay.
that can be difficult for the liver to process efficiently.
I see.
And he also highlighted things like high fructose corn syrup, fried foods, refined carbs.
Okay.
All of those contribute to inflammation.
Yeah.
And they can put extra strain on the liver.
So it's not just about what we eat,
Right.
but how those foods actually affect the liver's workload
Exactly.
and its overall health.
Yeah, it's all connected.
All right. Okay, so Dr. Berg also had this list of 7 foods that are especially good for the liver.
Yes.
So I'm really curious to hear what those are.
Me too, yeah.
What made his top picks?
Well, he had a good variety
Okay.
of foods that support liver function in different ways.
Yeah.
So first up, we've got cruciferous vegetables.
Oh, okay.
Like broccoli.
I love broccoli.
Brussels sprouts.
Kale.
Kale.
Yeah, those are great.
They're so good for you.
Yeah, they're packed with nutrients.
Exactly.
But what makes them so beneficial for the liver specifically?
Well, they contain these unique enzymes
Okay.
that actually enhance the liver's own detoxification processes.
So they give it an extra boost.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no,
And he
no.
was also a big fan of sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut, that's just fermented cabbage.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it has all the benefits of those cruciferous veggies,
Okay.
but it also contains probiotics from the fermentation process.
Okay.
And probiotics are so important for a healthy gut,
Right.
which in turn helps the liver function better.
So good gut health equals good liver health.
Exactly. It's all connected.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the next liver-loving food on the list?
Okay. Next up, we have eggs.
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 Okay.
He points out that they're an excellent source of protein, and they boast the highest choline content of any food.
Choline, what is that?
Choline is crucial for transporting fat out of the liver.
Oh, okay.
So remember how we talked about how that fatty buildup can damage the liver?
Yeah.
Choline helps prevent that.
Oh, I see.
And remember how we talked about some protein sources like soy and whey isolates can be a little tough on the liver?
Yeah.
Eggs are the opposite.
Really?
They're easy to digest
Okay.
and gentle on the liver.
So it's all about choosing the right kind of protein.
That's right.
Okay, what else made the top 7?
All right. We also have broccoli sprouts.
Broccoli sprouts.
Yeah, they might be tiny,
Okay.
but they're packed with this compound called sulforaphane,
Okay.
which is a really powerful liver protector.
Sulforaphane, I feel like I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
I think it's even more potent in the sprouts than regular broccoli.
Exactly.
Why is that?
Well, it's because they're essentially baby broccoli,
Oh, okay.
and they can have up to 100 times the amount of sulforaphane. Wow.
Compared to mature broccoli.
Wow. Tiny but mighty.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Next, we have beets.
Beets.
Yes.
Love beets.
They're so good.
Okay.
They help reduce inflammation, promote healthy bile flow,
Okay.
and can even help reduce fat in the liver.
Wow.
And don't throw away those beet greens.
Oh, yeah.
They're loaded with potassium.
I love that.
Yeah, nothing goes to waste.
All right, what's the next superstar food?
Okay, we have garlic.
Garlic, love garlic.
So good.
Okay.
It's rich in sulfur,
Okay.
which plays a key role in those liver detoxification processes
Right.
we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Plus, it has anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties.
Oh, wow.
So it's a true all-rounder for liver health.
Yeah, it seems like a recurring theme with these foods.
Mm-hmm.
Is their ability to kind of enhance
Yeah.
the liver's natural detoxification processes?
Exactly.
What about the next one?
All right, so next up, we have salmon
Oh,
or other foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids.
so like sardines or cod liver oil.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Berg really emphasized the importance of healthy fats for liver health.
Okay.
And omega-3s are particularly known for their anti-inflammatory benefits.
Yeah, I remember he even gave some recipes
Oh, yeah?
combining salmon with cruciferous veggies.
Delicious and good for you.
Exactly. What's the final food?
Last but not least, we have lemon.
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 Okay.
It might seem surprising,
Yeah.
but it's packed with vitamin C
Okay.
and can help reduce fat in the liver.
Right.
Plus, Dr. Berg mentioned that anything sour or bitter
Yeah.
is good for the liver.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because bile is naturally bitter.
Exactly.
So lemon definitely fits the bill.
It does.
So there you have it, the Magnificent Seven
There you go.
for liver health. Cruciferous vegetables, eggs, broccoli sprouts,
Yep.
beets, garlic, salmon, and lemon.
Love it.
And those weren't the only things Dr. Berg recommended.
All right.
He had a few bonus tips, too.
He did, yeah. Okay, so what were those bonus tips?
Well, he recommended incorporating apple cider vinegar,
Okay.
extra virgin olive oil,
Mm-hmm.
and especially milk thistle
Milk thistle, okay.
into your routine.
I've heard that's really good for the liver.
It is, yeah.
What makes it so special?
Well, it's been used for centuries
Yeah.
to support liver health.
Wow.
It's got these antioxidant
Okay.
and anti-inflammatory properties
All right.
that protect the liver from damage.
Oh, wow.
He even called it the liver's best friend.
The liver's best friend. Wow, high praise.
I know, right?
So, is there anyone in particular who might benefit from milk thistle?
Well, he specifically mentioned that it can be helpful for people taking medications
Oh, okay.
because it helps reduce the strain on the liver
Oh, okay.
from processing those medications.
I see.
So that's something to keep in mind.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Um, he briefly mentioned something about the feet
Oh, yeah.
and the liver.
That was interesting.
It didn't really go into much detail.
He didn't, did he?
Did that pique your interest?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It seems a little out there at first,
Yeah.
but there's this whole system of reflexology
Right.
that focuses on specific points on the feet
Okay.
that correspond to different organs,
I see.
including the liver.
So by applying pressure to those points,
Yeah.
you could potentially stimulate and support liver function.
That's the idea.
Wow, that's fascinating.
It is, isn't it?
It's amazing how interconnected our bodies are.
It really is.
I mean, who knew the feet and the liver were so connected?
Right.
Maybe we should do a deep dive into reflexology sometime.
I'd be up for that.
Okay, we'll put that on the list.
All right.
So, Dr. Berg focused mainly on diet,
Mm-hmm.
but what about other lifestyle factors?
Oh, yeah, those are important too.
Do those play a role in liver health?
Absolutely.
Like what?
Well, things like stress management,
Okay.
exercise,
Mm-hmm.
sleep,
Oh,
all of those are super important.
I can see how stress would impact the liver.
Right.
I mean, stress affects everything.
It does.
I
When
know.
we're chronically stressed,
Yeah.
our bodies release hormones like cortisol,
Okay.
which can put a lot of strain on the liver.
I see.
It has to work harder to process those hormones.
So managing stress isn't just good for our mental health.
Right.
It's good for our liver, too.
Exactly. It's all connected.
All right. What about exercise?
So regular physical activity
Mm.
helps improve circulation,
Okay.
which is crucial for delivering nutrients to the liver
Okay.
and removing waste products.
I see.
So think of it like getting the liver's plumbing system
Okay.
working efficiently.
So moving our bodies helps the liver move those toxins out.
Exactly.
Makes sense, right? And sleep.
Sleep is so important
Why is that?
because the liver does most of its regeneration and repair work
Really?
while we're sleeping.
Oh, wow.
So if we're consistently sleep deprived,
Yeah.
it can disrupt those processes and make the liver more susceptible to damage.
So it's really amazing how everything's connected.
I know, right?
Our diet,
Mm-hmm.
our lifestyle,
Yeah.
even our sleep habits,
It all plays a role.
all impact our liver health.
It really highlights the importance of a holistic approach to health.
Right.
We can't just focus on one aspect
Yeah.
and ignore the others.
It's about finding balance
Exactly.
and making choices that support our overall well-being.
That's right.
So speaking of supporting our well-being,
Okay.
are there any supplements that might be beneficial for liver health?
That's a good question.
We talked about milk thistle,
Right.
but are there any others?
There are a few others that are often recommended,
Okay.
but remember, it's always best to talk to your doctor
Of course, yes.
before starting any new supplements.
Yeah.
Especially if you have any health conditions.
Right.
Or are taking medications.
Good reminder.
Yeah.
So what are some of the supplements that people might consider?
Well, one that's often mentioned is N-acetylcysteine,
Okay.
or NAC for short.
NAC,
It's
yeah.
a powerful antioxidant
Okay.
that helps the liver produce glutathione.
Glutathione? I feel like I've heard that before.
You probably have.
What is that all about?
Well, it's often called the master antioxidant.
The master antioxidant. Wow.
I know.
Okay.
Because it plays such a crucial role in protecting our cells from damage.
I see.
It helps neutralize those harmful free radicals
Okay.
and supports the liver's detoxification processes.
So NAC basically helps boost our body's natural defense system.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another supplement that's sometimes recommended
But
is alpha-lipoic acid.
alpha-lipoic acid. Okay.
It's another potent antioxidant
Okay.
that helps protect the liver from damage
Okay.
and supports its ability to regenerate.
Wow, there's so many options.
There are, aren't there?
But it sounds like doing our research and talking to our doctor
Mm-hmm.
is key before adding any of these to our routine.
Yeah.
All right, so we've been talking a lot about the dangers of toxins.
Right.
But is there anything we can do
Yeah.
to minimize our exposure in the first place?
That's a great question.
Because it feels like toxins are everywhere these days.
It can feel that way, can it?
Yeah.
But there are some simple steps we can take
Okay.
to reduce our toxic load.
Okay, like what?
Well, one is to choose organic produce whenever possible.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, this helps minimize exposure to pesticides,
Right.
which the liver has to work hard to filter out.
Okay, yeah, so organic produce when possible.
Exactly.
What about all those everyday products that we use
Oh, yeah.
around the house, on our bodies?
That's another area where we can make conscious choices.
Okay.
Opting for natural cleaning products
Okay.
and personal care items without harsh chemicals
Okay.
can make a big difference.
I never really thought about the connection between those everyday products
Yeah,
and my liver health.
it's all connected.
It's like every choice we make is an opportunity to support our liver.
I like that perspective.
It's not just about food.
Right.
It's about creating a whole environment that supports our well-being.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
but I'm curious, are there any common misconceptions about liver health?
Oh, there are definitely a few that come to mind.
Okay, like what?
Well, one of the biggest ones
Yeah.
is that only people who drink heavily need to worry about their liver.
Oh, so that's not true.
Not at all.
Okay.
As we've discussed, the liver is exposed to a wide range of toxins
Right.
every single day.
Yeah.
From the food we eat, to the air we breathe, to the products we use.
Right.
So everyone's liver is working hard to detoxify their body,
Oh,
regardless of their alcohol consumption.
that's good to clarify.
It is.
Are there any other misconceptions that you often hear?
Yeah, another one is that all liver damage is irreversible.
I'm hoping that's not true.
Well, it depends. It depends on the extent and type of damage.
Okay.
But in the early stages,
Yeah.
many types of liver damage,
So-
like fatty liver disease,
Mhm.
can be reversed
Oh,
through lifestyle changes.
so there's hope.
There is, absolutely.
That's good.
The liver is an incredibly resilient organ,
It is.
but it's important to address any liver issues early on
Right.
to prevent further damage
Yeah.
and give it the best chance to heal.
Early detection is key.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to be aware of the signs and symptoms
Right.
that your liver might be struggling and to talk to your doctor if you notice anything concerning.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Exactly.
We've talked about a lot of different aspects of liver health today.
We have.
Anything else you want to add?
It really is amazing, just all the things that we can do to support our liver health. And we talk about food,
Right.
lifestyle choices, even supplements.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to realize that, we actually have so much control over our own well-being.
I know, it's empowering, right?
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Berg, he talked a lot about food,
Right.
but what about drinks?
Oh, good question.
Are there certain drinks that are particularly good or bad for the liver?
Yeah, for sure. Staying hydrated is always key.
Of course.
But some drinks can offer additional benefits.
Okay.
Dr. Berg mentioned apple cider vinegar diluted in water.
Mm-hmm.
There's also green tea,
Oh, yeah.
which is loaded with antioxidants,
Okay.
particularly catechins.
Catechins.
Yeah, and studies have shown that catechins can actually help protect the liver from damage.
Oh, wow. I love a good cup of green tea.
Me too.
It's amazing how something so simple can be so good for us.
Right.
It really is.
Small changes can make a big difference over time.
Yeah. It's all about making those little choices
Right.
that support your well-being.
Absolutely.
This has been so insightful.
It has been, hasn't it?
I feel like I've got a whole new toolkit for taking care of my liver.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Now, just to recap,
Yeah.
before we wrap things up, let's go over the key takeaways from our deep dive into liver health.
Sounds good.
Okay, so first of all, we busted that myth that the liver is just a storage unit for toxins.
Right.
It's actually a detoxification powerhouse,
It is, yeah.
constantly working to neutralize all those harmful substances.
Right. It doesn't stop.
And we learned that liver detoxification happens in two phases.
Yeah.
First, it breaks down the toxins,
Okay.
and then it makes them water soluble so they can be flushed out.
Exactly. 2 steps.
And we discovered that bile,
Mm.
which is made from cholesterol,
I know, right?
plays a crucial role in this whole process,
It does, yeah.
as well as nutrient absorption and hormone regulation.
It's a busy little substance.
It really is. We also talked about the signs and symptoms of liver issues
Right.
and how important it is to, catch things early.
Yeah.
And to talk to your doctor if you notice anything concerning.
Absolutely.
We explored those foods to avoid
Right.
and Dr. Berg's top 7 liver-loving foods.
Yeah, those were good.
Cruciferous vegetables, eggs, broccoli sprouts, beets, garlic, salmon, and lemon.
Thickest list.
All fantastic additions to a liver-friendly diet.
Absolutely.
And we discussed how important lifestyle factors are.
Yes.
Things like stress management,
Right.
exercise, sleep,
All that matters.
They all play a huge role in liver health.
Absolutely.
We even touched on some supplements.
Yeah.
That might be helpful.
Like milk thistle.
Milk thistle, NAC, alpha-lipoic acid.
Yeah. But always remember to talk to your doctor
Of course.
before starting any new supplements.
Good reminder.
Yeah.
And lastly, we talked about ways to minimize our exposure to toxins in the first place.
Right. Being proactive.
Right, by making those choices like organic produce, natural cleaning, and personal care products.
Absolutely.
Overall, it's amazing how much we can do to really support our liver health.
Right.
This deep dive has been so eye-opening.
I agree.
I feel like I can make informed choices now
That's great.
that benefit my liver and my overall health.
I love that, knowledge is power
It really is.
when it comes to our health.
Yeah.
The more we understand, the better equipped we are to take charge of our well-being.
So well said. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into liver health.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time for another insightful exploration.
Looking forward to it.
Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and take good care of yourselves.
Great advice.